everybody. Just two of us today, but this is a movie I really wanted to talk about. I'm like, I will talk about it by myself if I have to. But luckily, Rob was kind enough to join me to waste some more money to embellish my bullshit. So here we are. We are here to talk about F1, or now it's being categorized as F1, the movie. Um, I'm just gonna wing it because this is a high speed movie, and I'm just gonna high speed my review. That doesn't make sense, but I don't care. So I mean, we can do it like that. I mean, if you want, sure. But so F1 is the newest Apple investment. It is the newest Joseph Kosinski film, and it is the newest Brad Pitt movie, fresh off the heels of the earth-shattering, record-shattering, surprise blockbuster of the summer, Top Gun Maverick. Joseph Kosinski was like, well, I conquered the air, might as well conquer land. Now, next Joseph Kosinski film confirmed is it's going to be about boats. Let's go. He's gonna conquer the water next, and it's gonna be a boat movie. I'm calling it now. But I went into this with pretty good expectations. I was a little worried that it was gonna be a little maybe dodgy, maybe predictable, but like outside of like the predictable and tropey nature of it, it's one of those cases where it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the predictability of it all, because it's like you could say that. I mean, Top Gun Maverick is essentially the first movie done again, but like way better. And here is no exception. It has Brad Pitt. He's this aging race car driver. He was like on his way to like be the greatest of all time, and then he quite literally crashed and burned. And so he kind of is doing weird, odd jobs for the love of the sport, and just kind of wants to do his own thing when he's called back in by his old rival slash friend to get back into Formula One, which he, eventually does. So what I loved about this movie is, well, the acting from everyone is phenomenal. Like, I think Brad Pitt, I can't see anyone else in this role. Legit, like he brings that like confident swagger that only Brad Pitt can provide. Like, sure, you have like certain guys that are like kind of egotistical, kind of has that swagger, like maybe like a Jamie Foxx kind of actor, but like Brad Pitt, he just like I feel like Joseph Kosinski and Aaron Kruger wrote this role for Brad Pitt, because like I can't see anybody else in this role, and he did absolutely phenomenally. Yeah, he does kind of fit into the old school cowboy vibe, as Kerry Condon states in the film, but like I feel like he's kind of more than that throughout most of the movie. Like I feel like, oh, people are like, oh, you're not a team player, you can't do this, you can, but he like really is. It just, I feel like he's just kind of 10 steps above everybody else, that they just kind of don't realize what he's doing. And I really liked that. Like he does have that swagger, but like at the same time it's kind of warranted, like it works for him. And I liked how, with how he was throughout most of the movie, he was kind of like a martyr in a way. Like this dude gets like shit on a lot for a lot of mistakes that he definitely didn't do. And honestly, that was kind of refreshing, because it's like he just takes a lot of shit. Like he takes a lot of shit from Damon Idris, takes a lot of shit from his mom, takes a lot of shit from Javier Bardem, Kerry Condon, all these people, and he's just like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do best, not because like I'm just like a wild card. I mean, he kind of is, but it's just like I know what I'm doing and I know what I do works, but not in like an asshole kind of way. But it's like, if you want to unleash your anger on me, if you want to blame me for shit, that's fine too. And I kind of liked that. I felt that was a little bit more unique than something like Maverick. Javier Bardem, easily the most talented actor in this movie. Not saying everyone else is bad. It's just Javier Bardem is just one of those actors that always delivers 110% no matter what. Like you feel for him throughout most of this movie. You feel like you just want to see this guy succeed because it's just like he's similar to Brad Pitt. It's like he loves the game, but he realized he knew when to quit. But now he's just like, I love what I do and I love managing this team. It's just like I got a streak of bad luck and I need my friend to help me. And you feel for him. He is very sympathetic character. Carrie Condon is kind of that predictable, like, I'm not gonna deal with this fucking swagger cowboy, and then she ends up fucking him. So it's like, all right, okay. I mean, seen that a million times, but sure. I feel like the love subplot was a bit unnecessary because that was like a predictable thing that you could have cut and it wouldn't have like changed the movie all that much. Um, and then Damon Idris, I hope this guy, I hope Damon Idris absolutely wrecks. Like, I hope he has a great career. Because I thought he was phenomenal here. I thought he definitely had a lot of depth to him. Like, he's going uphill. Like, he has a lot to prove, but he knows he's good. Everyone around him knows he's good, but he's again just lacks the emotional maturity to like deal with the things like going on. And I really appreciated that. But it's like it wasn't just like egotistical douchebag kid. Again, similar to Brad Pitt, there was more to him. He was just like, oh, I'm the best, whatever. But it's like he knows that like I did have to struggle to get here. And it wasn't just like everything was handed to me. There's probably a race thing in there somewhere, like being a young black kid. Maybe there's something there. I kind of saw it a little bit, but it wasn't like beating you over the head. It was subtle. And everyone else did a great job. Tobias Menzies, a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, we get into spoilers as you can tell by the title or tell by the title. I knew he was going to be a fucking prick from the beginning because it's like it's Tobias Menzies. He always plays a villain. The few times he doesn't play a villain, he is playing a villain in that same like Outlander. Frank, he wasn't a villain, but Black Jack Randall was a villain. So like he plays a bit like if you want a good villain, good. And I love how he was like portrayed as this like dweeby fuckwad throughout most of the movie. Like the few times he does appear, it's like, oh, I don't know anything. Instead of like this like fucking like cold calculating guy he normally is. I was just but no, he's like, I'm like, maybe he isn't, maybe it's a red herring, but it's like, no, he comes in and he's like, no, fuck y'all. I'm gonna fucking take this shit down. And I really liked that. It does have a lot of cheesy lines here and there. Again, as I said, the plot's rather predictable. It's, same old story, old school mentor, young kid. They got to work together. They butt heads while dealing with romance and the actual races all around them. Seen it a million times before, but the way this movie doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, it just gives us a good time. Speaking of a good time, the technical aspects are out of this world. Like, if this doesn't win like best sound or best like cinematography at the Oscars next year, I'm nuking that goddamn place because this absolutely deserves it. Like the opening scene at the NASCAR race, which was before Formula One, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, I was like similar with like the climax of Top Gun. That it, like all the flying scenes in that were like absolutely excellent. Here, all the racing scenes were just as good. They were I'm like, I couldn't give a flying fuck about race car driving. Formula One, NASCAR, all that. I couldn't give less of a fuck even if I tried. Yet this was some of the most exhilarating and entertaining stuff I have seen in a movie probably since Top Gun Maverick, if I were to say, because God, like at Hans Zimmer's score, absolutely brilliant. It's not like one of his most memorable scores, but when he hits it, it's great. And then on top of the fact, the needle drops I feel like helped with the overall story. Like, I mean, like the opening blaring the movie to Led Zeppelin, I'm like, all right, you got me, guys, you got me. So Just like editing was smooth paced. It was so well paced. This movie is over 2.5 hours long. It never felt like it. It breezed by. It was, again, it gets you into the action. It hits. It punches the gas. It doesn't let up, and it's just absolutely great. But it also, I do love like a lot of the character driven stuff, like the obstacles. It's just like they just keep getting beat down and beat down. It's just like once they fucking hit their stride, it's just so great and exhilarating to watch. And I felt that this movie just pretty much did everything right. It did everything right in terms of a summer blockbuster, and the fact it made more money than M3 Cinema ain't dead, baby. Let's go. Fuck that bitch of a cunting robot. Let's give a round of applause for Kosinski, Pitt, and Bruckheimer. M3 can fucking suck a dick. I don't give a shit. F1 making its money. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this to like just hit all the right marks, and it's just such a great time. Again, the only bad stuff is like tropey stuff that we've seen before. Maybe the love plot was but like outside of that, nothing. 10 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic. Like it's in my top 5 of the year easily. I thought it was exhilarating. And this needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible, whether it's Dolby, whether it's IMAX, whether it's laser, whether it's 3D. If there's fucking 3D somewhere, go watch it on the biggest screen. Don't see it on a fucking computer. Don't see it on a phone. Don't even like. It's a lot of money. I understand. Just don't eat for this week and go see F1 instead, and you're fine. All right, so I swear it'll be worth it. Okay, so go see F1. Absolutely great. Now to hand it off to Rob, my boy. Rob, let us know your thoughts on F1.
All right. Well, let me go and pull up my rating. All right. So, F1 the movie. This is a movie I was actually kind of curious about checking out, especially since it was directed by Joseph Kosinski, the guy who directed the amazing Top Gun Maverick. However, my interest of this movie peaked even more when my best friend, John, was like, you got to see this movie. This is one of the best movies of the year, easily. And that pretty much got my curious. That pretty much piqued my curious even more. So after seeing it, all I got to say is, John, thank you so much for recommending this movie. Because this movie, I would say this movie is just as amazing as Top Gun Maverick. The acting from everyone is solid. Brad Pitt, he's a phenomenal actor. And he does do a wonderful job playing the washed up and cocky Sony Hayes. The character's he's a washed out car racer who just refuses to quit. He's a lone wolf. He doesn't play well with others. He will play by his own rules. The cocky kind of racer that thinks he knows knows how to deal with things and doesn't play well with the team. He does that. Brad Pitt. I like John said. I really can't think of anyone else playing this character, playing this cocky, so full of himself, kind of race car driver. You know, Damson Idris was also great as the newcomer Joshua Pierce, who was trying to work with Hayes despite Hayes just not playing by the rules. I love their chemistry together, and both work off each other very, very well. The dynamic, honestly, it reminds me so much of how Maverick and Rooster are in Top Gun Maverick. Not exactly, because I understand that Rooster was pretty much had some kind of like at the beginning, he had some kind of hatred for Maverick for what happened with his father, things like that. But I mean, it's just the dynamic just kind of reminds me of how both of these characters work off each other, and it's great. So other cast including Javier Bardem, Kerry Condon, Tovis Mendes, just everyone else, they do a phenomenal job. They're really great actors. They all play their parts great. The the cinematography is outstanding. The production designs very well. The driving scenes, the race car scenes, they are so much fun. So they are so much fun. And keep in mind, this is someone who is not a NASCAR fan. I don't care about like NASCAR or anything. The only kind of race that actually interests me is maybe something like a like a video game like Sonic Racing or Mario Kart or something. That's like the closest thing that comes to my mind when that interests me in terms of racing. Like I said, the score was done very well, and it was done by the legendary Hans Zimmer, who, as we all know, is pretty much known for composing a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. I know he didn't do Oppenheimer, but he did compose the score for a lot of other Christopher Nolan movies. I just want to clarify that. Pacing, it was well done, although I will say that there were actually I would say my biggest problem is probably more of a nitpick than anything, and it was probably just the fact that I maybe like sometime during the third act I could feel a little bit of the runtime, just a little bit. I feel like it could have shaved off just a tad bit, and it probably would have worked a little bit better. Not saying the movie has to be like an hour and a half or anything like that, but maybe like 15 minutes or something could have been shaved off a little bit. Because I could feel the runtime a little bit if it weren't, but that's probably more of a nitpick than anything, and that's what's preventing me from giving it like a perfect rating. Editing is well done. This is honestly, I could see this getting a lot of Oscar buzz. I'm with John. I can see this getting a lot of Oscar buzz, and overall, if you love Top Gun Maverick, then you owe it yourself to see this movie. While that's probably not going to be my number one favorite, I could see it being somewhere in my top 10 of the year. I'd have to really think about that because we've had a lot of great movies, so I don't want to play my cards too much, you know. And plus we'll have to see what the rest of the year holds because we're only halfway through the year, so I don't want to make that judgment just yet. So this is a movie you do need to see. If you have an IMAX theater, go watch it there. Go watch it in Dolby, you know. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't get to see this in IMAX because I would have loved to. But I mean, it was like I had to find the best local time. So I had to find maybe sometime down the line if maybe I watch this again in IMAX. So I would say give this a watch. I know John pretty much gave a lot of shit for Megan 2.0 and saying how like things like that. I would say like when he was saying suck it to Megan, I was thinking like suck it to Pixar, you know, for giving us. I'll explain my point. I'll explain my thoughts on Megan 2.0 next time. So I'm rambling at this point. I'm sorry. But anyway, my score is a 9.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah. I mean, I was rambling too, so you're good.
Yeah.
But I really love this movie. I was expecting something really good, but like what I got is just like, whoa. Like that was good. Like my dad was like, because again, we went into the nice comfy Dolby theater with those nice comfy seats. I didn't put my seat warmer on because it was too fucking hot that day, but like we could like my dad, I didn't feel it, but I was just like so like locked into the movie. My dad was like, I could like feel the chair shake. It was like insane. So so the technical aspects absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But I did want to address this, Mr. Abe 47 Racing, very applicable. What do you think about the little subplot of the female mechanic? It didn't land for me. I agree. As I said in my review, that was one of the things that I didn't love but it was like so like blink and you'll miss it. It was not very like stated much. It was like a small nitpick. It's just like we've seen it before. It didn't land totally. It kind of didn't work, but it's like it felt like a very much like a 90s kind of movie where it was like, oh, the guy has to get with the one woman throughout this entire movie. So I'm like, all right, sure. And then Joseph Kosinski was saying at like the red carpet for this was he's like, Tom Cruise apparently is making Days of Thunder 2, and he's like, maybe we can have them team up in an F1 sequel and like join the universe of Days of Thunder, which honestly, I haven't seen Days of Thunder. I've heard it's pretty much Top Gun, but with race cars, which considering that F1 is Top Gun Maverick with race cars, it like kind of works. But I felt that that was, kind of like interesting, but like I would love to see them team up, like Interview with the Vampire, Lestat and Brad Pitt's character teaming up once again. And I think that would be awesome. I think the the whole the idea of like a F1 Days of Thunder cinematic universe would be awesome.
Sorry, sorry, I broke the rule of not going on the phone, but Rome just texted in the chat saying that he's able to hop on and talk about the movie.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we still,
I was sending him the link.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So we'll be joined by Rome soon, which is all good. But yeah, it's like a Days of Thunder cinematic universe. I think that would be kind of fun. Although I haven't. Have you seen Days of Thunder?
I haven't. I've heard of it. I heard it was pretty good, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. But I know Tony Scott did the both of them. So like Tony Scott did Top Gun and Days of Thunder, and then Joseph Kosinski did Top Gun Maverick, and then another like the ongoing joke I did was like Joseph Kosinski's Days of Thunder. Like that's what this was. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Like I liked the idea of what was it? I liked the idea of like Brad Pitt like not like understanding the intricacies of like what people need to like do and say and to process everything. Like you could tell that this guy was really fucking smart. Like you could tell like when Damon Idris like really finally realized like this dude is actually really intelligent. He's not just this asshole like coming in and like swinging his gigantic cock around and acting like he's top dog because he was on the track to greatness. So it's I like the idea. I like their dynamic where it was like, Damon Idris didn't pay attention to him and he paid the price. And then when he's like having this, this idea of like, no, I'm the guy now. You're not the guy anymore. And I like, even though again, there is that sense of like tropiness, it still worked for me. It's still like the way that both of those actors work and they act like with any lesser actor, you wonder, because that's the thing. Like, I'm going to go into a side tangent, not about the movie, but like whenever predictability, I don't mind as long as you can write and act the hell out of it. It's like, okay, we've seen these before. What can you do to make me care? And you do it through good writing. I think Aaron Kruger did a great job with the script. And this is from the asshole that wrote Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. So like, so like this dude, like he wrote Top Gun Maverick with Kosinski. He wrote this, so maybe he's on the track to finally.
I was gonna say he's now he's on the right track, because he's come a long way from the shittiness of Revenge of the Fallen.
I mean, he did write like a couple good things, but like he also wrote the worst Scream movie. Well, it was the worst Scream movie until Scream 5. He wrote like I swear to God, this dude wrote a lot of terrible movies. Like outside of like The Ring, Top Gun Maverick, and F1, this dude wrote the Dumbo remake, Ghost in the Shell, Transformers 2 through 4, The Ring 2, Brothers Grimm, Skeleton Key, just like a lot of terrible stuff. But now maybe he's good now. Who knows? Maybe it's just the power of Joseph Kosinski.
I was gonna say he probably needs to stick with Joseph Kosinski at this point, so because that's not really good track record. I had no idea he did so many bad movies before.
Yeah, but it's never too late to redeem yourself.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I think
you can always turn things around, no matter how many bad scripts you write.
Yeah, and I think that that it works here, and I think all the actors elevate the script. Not saying the script is bad. It's just like, because again, without a good script, this movie would have fallen flat on its face. Like it had the perfect storm of greatness. And speaking of greatness, we have Rome in here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? What's up, bro?
Why don't you state your review for F1, and we will happily listen.
So this is more of a reactionary because I saw the movie about a few hours ago. You guys can hear me okay, right?
Oh, yeah.
All good.
I thought it was a really good, feel-good kind of movie, but more of a popcorn movie. Like, it had a lot of that Jerry Bruckheimer like formula. But it was a feel-good kind of movie. That's what I liked about it. I thought Javier Bardem stole the movie. I thought his performance was the best out of everybody. I really enjoyed what he brought as a sporting character. But it was a little bit too long than it should have been. There's certain scenes that they could have like cut back a little bit, because the second act it felt like was a little too longer than it should. But like I said, I enjoyed the movie. That was a fun, feel good popcorn movie. 8 out of 10. I think a lot of people who are seeing this movie are going to get their money's worth, because if you're looking for a feel good kind of movie, this is kind of what it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree.
But I thought the director, I thought how it was presented felt really good. It felt like a big main event type kind of movie you have to see in theaters to really enjoy the experience.
Yeah,
I really liked a lot of the intense moments that were brought in the driving sequences and the race. It felt a little bit like a Rocky, like a Rocky underdog type story.
Yeah,
like here's this guy who's been a drifter for the last 30 years, who now has this one last shot, but just doesn't make a big thing out of it, but kind of does. Trying to think who's the actor that played Joseph.
it was Damon Idris.
I was gonna say Damon Idris.
Oh, Damon Idris.
Yeah, he's been in a couple things. He's been in some indie stuff, some TV stuff. He's a very good actor. I really liked him here, and I liked the dynamic between him and Brad Pitt.
I mentioned it before in my review. His and Brad Pitt's their dynamic reminds me so much of Tom Cruise and Miles Teller in Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
I kept thinking of Rocky Balboa with what's his name, the boxer that he fought in
Apollo.
No, Apollo, the other one.
Adonis.
Tavares. No, I think it was Tavares. It was Rocky Balboa was number 6 before they did the Creed movies.
Oh, okay.
I forgot I know it was an actual boxer, but I forgot who he played. But there was moments in that where I felt like, oh, okay, like, hey, you're crazy old man type thing, or your antics aren't going to help you. There's a little bit of that between their chemistry, but I really liked their chemistry though. I thought they were pretty good. I think that had to work for this movie to be successful with the script.
Oh, it did, yeah.
I don't feel like there was any bad performance at all. I thought everybody did pretty well.
Everyone did a fantastic job. I can honestly, as I said before, I could see this getting so many Oscar nominations.
Yeah, I could see that too. Javier Bardem, I thought, to me, I could see him maybe getting a nomination for Best Supporting Actor from this. I thought he was phenomenal in this. I mean, he's great in a lot of things, but this was something.
I thought he was so good in this. Like, as I was saying in my review and after the fact, like, you feel for him. Like, you really feel for him. Like, you just want to see him come out okay. And I think that's what, like, helped, And I also, like, really, really liked, like, again, I love Brad Pitt's dynamic with everybody, even Carrie Condon, even though it was a little bit tired, as I said, a little bit predictable of like, oh, the what is it, the love subplot. Yeah, that was tired, but it doesn't like ruin the movie for me, you know.
No, and I feel like that's part of Bruckheimer's formula, where you need
Yeah.
a female lead love interest with the main
Yeah,
character, who's
right,
like this,
exactly.
who's like this dick, but yet somehow he's charming and witty, and you just
Yeah,
that's Brad
I
Pitt.
liked how he was like kind of like, it was like kind of like a martyr complex almost. I was saying this in my review, where it was like he just let everybody shit on him because he knew that like people had to like kind of do that to like make everyone like feel better, because he's like, I'm the guy to hate, that's fine. That's fine with me, because I think that's what makes it work. Because it doesn't feel like the Maverick, where it's just total swagger and total like douchebaggery. I mean, he had that, don't get me wrong, he had that, but like what made it work was like there was so much more depth to him than like one would realize. There's more layers there, and I feel like that's what was like so good about it. Like I really liked that, but again,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just seeing stuff that's not there.
The soundtrack, I thought it was okay, but everybody's just using
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Hey-
love for every movie now. When that song first showed up in the beginning, I'm like, oh great, it's just another one of those movies where they had to use that song. I mean, how many movies there is these days that are using that song now? Which I didn't mind
Which
it,
song?
but Whole Lot of Love by
all the
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin songs.
Yeah, it was like overused in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
thought
I
that
do.
was,
Yeah, because I know that they did play a lot in certain movies. You know, I
Yeah.
remember it was like the trailer for the Dungeons and Dragons movie. You know,
Yeah.
so
But I thought Hans Zimmer did pretty well. There was moments where I felt like I was watching The Dark Knight with like his music. It just felt like very like boom, 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 boom.
Exactly,
Yeah,
something
you
like
know,
very
just-
percussion heavy Hans Zimmer. Yeah,
yeah, it just felt like
Yeah,
Dark Knight a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not like one of his best scores, but it is. I mean, it's Hans Zimmer. Like no matter
It's
what,
Hans Zimmer. How can you go wrong with the man?
No.
Yeah, I mean, bro made like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 like a fucking banger. Like,
Oh,
go
yeah.
figure.
But I feel like they should have used more of his score than just kind of putting in cover like other like mainstream music in their movie.
Yeah, I think it kind of worked. I feel like the songs didn't bother me, but I can kind of see why, maybe like because the idea of needle drops being a little bit tired. But I felt like it kind of added to the story of like the characters, how like the journeys they were going on, like the montage stuff of like Damon Idris, like after his hands get burned after the crash, like him trying to like just get back to
Yeah.
where he was, like going through the physical therapy, and he's just like, God fucking damn it, like why? And it was just, and he knew it was his fault, but like it was just like, you know, he doesn't want to admit he fucked up and all that as well.
Oh yeah. Did you guys notice? Because there was a part towards the end between Ruben and Brad Pitt's character where he was like, I don't want you back here because of like all his surgery, his back, and all that stuff, which happened 30 years ago, which he didn't know. I thought that was like I don't know if it was like a plot hole or something, because I would think everybody would have known why he stopped racing or why he moved on or that whole thing.
Maybe he knew it was bad, but it wasn't as like nobody thought it was as bad as you thought it was. However, there is the like, wouldn't you give him like a medical like diagnosis before he would start racing? Because these guys are put through the ringer. You got to be in like top shape, got to be in top form to race like at fucking 300 kilometers an hour, and like the reflexes, like your heart, your head, your brain, your body is put through a lot. You would think that like maybe you would be like, oh yeah, the guy who like stopped racing 30 years ago because of a bad crash, yeah, let's give him like a checkup. I could see that, but like I feel like there is like the suspension of disbelief. I didn't even notice that until like right now. So it's like, the thing is, I think the sign of a plot hole that is forgivable forgivable is if I don't notice it during the runtime. If I don't notice it, literally like almost a week after until after a week after watching it, because I saw an early screener, I saw it on Wednesday.
Nice.
Then
Awesome.
then it's not that bad of a plot hole. Like if I notice like while it was happening, then I'm like, okay, that's a little bit detrimental. But the fact I was so like engrossed and locked in, I didn't even notice
I mean,
it. And
as
it was still
long as
worked.
the plot hole doesn't take away from the overall movie,
Yeah,
then
it's not like Don't
it's
Breathe.
easily forgivable, So
It's not like Don't Breathe,
Right.
where the entire movie just collapses in under itself because of a plot of like a twist that doesn't make sense.
No, I agree.
I haven't seen Don't Breathe, so I can't really say.
Good movie until that twist. Damn unfortunate.
All I know is like I just hear mixed things about it. So some people like it, some people hate it. So
Yeah, but
that kind of reminded me. Sorry, it's okay. It just kind of reminded me of a Michael Bay moment. I feel like that's something that Michael Bay would put in his movies. Like, yeah, look, we're just gonna brush that off. No big deal.
Well, I mean,
Michael Bay
I
moment.
was just saying to Rob before you entered, the guy who wrote this movie wrote Transformers 2, 3, and 4. So
okay, that makes
there
sense.
you go.
That makes sense.
Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, a movie so bad that it gave me a headache after seeing it in theaters.
A movie so bad I stopped watching the live action Transformers movies until Bumblebee, because that was the first one that wasn't directed by Michael Bay. But now he's coming back apparently because Hasbro shit the bed with Transformers 1 in the marketing. So now, and that movie failed. So they're like, let's hope we can get $1 billion again, just like Age of Extinction. Oh boy, can't wait.
Yeah, the rumor is for that they're trying to bring everybody back, like Megan Fox, just everybody.
Even though Megan Fox had a terrible time working with Michael Bay.
Yeah.
In Revenge of the Fallen.
Yep.
By the way, John, you said that John Krasinski, his next movie is going to be like with boats and all.
No, I was just joking. Yeah, this
guy wrote a lot of bad.
Because I was going to say if that was true, then I would have said like the one after that is going to be in space.
Apparently Tom Cruise does want to do a space movie, and I think he does want to do it with Joseph Kosinski, so maybe you're not totally wrong. So
Top Gun in space.
Yeah, I know he's been talking about that for a while now, that he wants to try to change the movie making history by having something filmed in space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking at this guy's like credits. Dumbo, Ghost in the Shell. Oh my god.
Ghost in the Shell was shit.
So the only good movie he wrote was Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
But who knows how much he really wrote of it.
But hey, he was pretty much the only credit for this. I know he and Joseph Kosinski wrote the story, but he wrote the script, and the script was pretty good. So
I would say like the dude just needs to stick with Joseph Kosinski, because that seems to be the only kind of good things he can write.
I agree.
So he needs to stick with.
Most definitely, I think so. I think this was definitely the big, like this is kind of the definitely the blockbuster before the super Jurassic fucking marathon of movies for next month, because
because July that's gonna be 3 big heavy hitters with Jurassic World, with Superman and Fantastic Four.
I didn't know this, but the movie Together is also coming out, I think, July 28th. So I didn't know that was going to be a July release. I thought it was going to be an August release.
I think it's in select theaters, and then it's going to have a full release in August, I think. Or it got pushed back again, because I know it was supposed to come out later, and then it got pushed back to August, and then or pushed forward, whatever the fuck it is, and then it maybe got pushed even further into July. But yeah, super excited about that too. But yeah.
So Brad Pitt's next movie is Heart of the Beast, directed by David Ayer.
All right, David Ayer.
What's that now?
just seeing what Brad Pitt's gonna be doing next for a movie. It looks like he's doing an action movie with David Ayer, J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
So I mean, David Ayer is working. That guy has so many movies coming out.
He does, yeah. Yeah, but this is honestly, like I told John, I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I didn't get to see this in IMAX or Dolby because I would have loved to see it, but I was trying to find like the best time that would pretty much fit around my schedule. So
No,
maybe
that's fine. As
sometime I'll
long as
pretty
you
much
saw it in the
I'll
theater,
try to watch.
that's good.
I saw it like so early in the morning. I think it was like 11 o'clock or something, 10:30, 11 o'clock. I can't remember, but it was like really early in the morning. And I think it was just me and then like two other girls. That's about it. So,
Yeah.
no, but the rest of the theater was empty. So
Was this for F1?
Actually, oh, yeah. So no, sorry, you go.
So was this for F1?
yeah, this is
Yeah.
for F1. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, more.
Oh, sorry, go on.
So just my theater when I went to see it today. I mean, more and more people were getting their tickets. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think
yeah.
I think what it was, I think the reason for that was just because I saw it was like early Friday morning.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
because Thursday I went to do a double feature with my brother for Elio, which Pixar's Elio, which we reviewed last night, and Mithrigan 2.0. So we had a double feature with that, and then I was like, you know what? I had some errands to run in town, and then because I was originally going to see it that evening, but then I was like, you know what? I had some errands to run in town. I was like, I've got nothing else to do. I might as well go and see it now. So
Right.
thing,
I think I actually had a funny story with my screening. So as I said, I had an early screening. I went to go see it on the Wednesday before Thursday previews. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go see this. I asked my dad, I'm like, hey, do you want to watch it? He's like, yeah, sure. It looks good. I'm like, all right. So both of us go to see it in the Dolby Theater and in my multiplex. So we go through, we get our snacks, and this guy comes up to the woman taking our order that he's like, hey, the theater is not showing is not showing the movie. And it was at 7. So I'm like, all right, like this guy doesn't know. And my dad and I were kind of making fun of him, like, oh, Mr. like is in a rush, and all this other stuff. So, but we knew there was previews and stuff. So we take our time and then we go into the theater and there's nothing on the screen. No previews, no commercials, no nothing, no movie, none of that shit. So we sit down, we're like, huh, that's interesting. And we notice like 10, 15 minutes go by and we're like, there's still nothing. There's still no preview. So we're like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it's the early screening. I don't know. So then somebody comes in and they're like, hey, something's wrong. We're trying to get the film started. Like there's something wrong with the movie. We gotta I'm talking with my manager, and I'm like, okay, interesting. And so we were waiting for a bit, and then like another like 10 minutes go by, and they're like, okay. Then the same girl came back in and she was like, all right, so in the next 5 minutes, the movie should start. And then we're like, okay. So then the movie eventually starts and the logos are going by, and I noticed there's no sound. And we're like, okay, so then the movie starts and it's silent. There's no whole lot of love. There's no waves. There's no engines. And I actually said in my theater loudly, I'm like, man, this would be really great if I was deaf. And I got the whole theater laughing because we were all just waiting together like for a while. So, and we were like, okay. And then the movie stops, like right when the title card comes up of like Daytona, Indianapolis, blah, blah, like it stops. And we're like, okay. And then it rewinds. And then it goes back to like Brad Pitt sitting on his bed or something. And we're like, oh, this is like interesting. And then boom, cuts to black, lights go up. Same girl walks back in. She's like, okay, we're trying to get it fixed. And we're like, okay. And so she's like, in about 10 minutes, we're going to try and get it fixed. There's a 50-50 chance it's going to work. And so just keep that in mind. So you can either get a refund now or wait. And we're like, and my dad and I, we had nothing to do that evening. So we're like, we'll just wait. It's fine. And I'm like, do you want to see it tomorrow? Like, if this doesn't work, he's like, yeah, that's fine. I got nothing going on tomorrow. So we're like, okay. So I set it up just in case on my phone, like just in case if we need to buy tickets. And then like 10 minutes in, screen came back on. Movie worked like a charm. No issues. And I will say, even after all of that, the movie was worth it. I'm so glad I sat through and I didn't get a refund. So, because the same thing happened, fun fact, same thing happened before my AMC was converted into an AMC because they bought out Bowtie Cinemas, which is where that theater was. It was a BTX theater, and that's where I was going to see Avatar: The Way of Water, but the projector was broken. So they're like, okay, you can either wait or go see another movie in like 10 minutes. I'm like, we'll go to another showing. So I never got to see Avatar: Way of Water on the Dolby theater, or the BTX theater, but I did get to go see it finally. So it came together full circle.
I still remember when Mark and I, we were originally supposed to see Avatar: Way of Water. We were supposed to see it in IMAX together, but the IMAX theater pretty much were closed down because I was looking at the ticket. I was looking at showtimes, and there was no IMAX showing. So I went up to the lady. I was like, "Hey, I can't find it," and she just said, "Oh yeah, they're working on repairs or something for the theater, so it won't be ready." So I told Mark, and then we were like, okay, I guess we'll see it. Get like a normal regular time or something. And then the day when we were supposed to see it, IMAX showtimes came up. It's like, what?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Gotta love that good old fashioned theater timing. But
Well,
I still say the F1 experience was worth it. I'm glad I got to see it on the Dolby Theater. I'm glad I got to see it in those comfy chairs. I honestly, if I had the money and the means and the power and clout, I would go up to one of those motherfuckers and be like, I will buy one of those seats off of you. I would sleep in that thing. Don't get me wrong. I love this bed. This is a very comfortable bed. I love this bed. I got a purple mattress, very comfortable, not sponsored, but I'm just saying purple mattresses are great. But like that chair, the Dolby Theater chair, that is like someone took like the heavens above and put it in a chair.
oh yeah.
Like those are like the most, I will say movie theater seats are comfortable. I have accidentally slept in a theater a couple of times where it's just like, it's nice and warm. It's nice and comfortable. And I'm just like, it's just like sometimes, and the movie's sometimes not that great. So I tend to fall asleep, but those Dolby chairs, whoa, those are brilliant. And having that experience
really
in one of those chairs, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So
yeah, the Dolby chairs, they are really comfortable. So
anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent a little bit. And I was going a little bit of tangent, but it's just like a funny anecdote. But I think we've had all what we've said about the movie. It's one of those movies. You just have to experience it on the biggest screen possible, whether it's IMAX, Dolby, and if you don't have either of those, just see it in a theater. Don't see it don't pirate it. I mean, I'm normally okay with piracy. I mean, what? My lawyers are telling me not to say that, but but I will say, like, sometimes I say, like, sometimes you just don't have the money, you don't have the means, and like the Dolby tickets are expensive. They're like $20 a ticket, and not for a matinee. So
I was gonna say, you gotta see what the IMAX tickets look like.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got mine for standard. I saw the movie. I saw the movie in standard edition. I didn't need to see it. I mean, I wanted to see it in IMAX, but my theater doesn't carry IMAX. But I still enjoy the movie.
Yeah, obviously. Like, just again, I still, you're seeing it on a big movie theater screen is how it was intended, how the Lord Joseph Kosinski intended. So I would say just try to see it on the biggest screen possible. Don't see it on a phone or a computer.
In all
Yeah.
seriousness, what is Joseph Kosinski's next movie? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
He
I
hasn't
think
announced
he
it
was
yet.
working with Jerry Bruckheimer again. I think it's going to be like a UFO kind of X-Files esque movie.
Also, it is going to be in space after all.
Just not going to take place in space. Just be centered around the aliens.
Because I was making that as a joke. I was like, really?
I think that's
I
what
thought,
his next movie is.
I thought Top Gun Maverick 3 or Top Gun 3 was going to be his next movie.
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
might be one of them, but I don't think that's his like next one. So, okay. So the two movies he has in his upcoming are untitled UAP disclosure thriller Kaczynski / Bruckheimer Apple. So that's another Apple Bruckheimer production.
Mhm.
And then the upcoming Miami Vice movie. That's the other major one. That's it.
Yeah.
The Top Gun 3, I think they're kind of just I think it's like pre-production where they're just kind of working out the kinks of like what's gonna be kind of in it like before like they write a script and everything. So that's probably not greenlit technically just yet. So the next one are those two movies. So I'm pumped for what he has in mind, and I'm pumped that this movie will undoubtedly beat the hell out of the fucking god awful Tron Ares, because Joseph, like when Tron Ares inevitably fails, he'll just be like, "You should have gone with my Tron 3, motherfuckers. Fuck you, Disney. That's what you get for the guy who did Pirates 5 and a fucking cult leader pedophile as your main star. Eat a dick." So, congrats, Joseph Kosinski, and Disney can suck my nards. But guys, what do we have next? What's our next review? Rob, what's our next review?
Our next review is going to be next week. We're going to be reviewing Megan 2.0, and that's going to be hosted by Zach.
Gross. Anyway, but that is all we have for you today.
Have you guys seen that movie yet? Megan,
I have.
I'm not seeing that garbage. I only see true cinema.
I'm debating about seeing it. I hear it's very much like Transformers, Terminator 2-esque, or inspired by Terminator 2.
Don't compare this shit to Terminator, please.
I know.
Oh God. But that is it for today. M3 2.0 is next. Thank you for this very busy last few weeks, because you've had like y'all have like 9 reviews for the past like 3 weeks or something. So I hope you guys enjoyed. But that's it for our F1 review. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And see you later. You're still here?